My name is Dane Young. Just as she mentioned, I am the publicist for the magazine, and I also am the quote unquote resident beauty expert, if you will, because I'm into like skincare, and so I'm usually the one who handles a lot of like that type of stories and interview when it comes to beauty products. And so I definitely want to just learn more about what you have going on about the Encina brand. Seems so cool. I came across it actually on social media, and I was like, oh, let me reach out and see like if we can get a feature with him because like I said, I'm into like skincare, and to see a black man coming out with a beauty line, I thought that was dope, and I was intrigued about like the reasons why. So I was like, let me figure out who his contacts are.
I
So
appreciate
so
it.
yeah, no, no worries. Well, let's start from the beginning. Like, what was your first introduction to like beauty, like overall, how you were raised, like what made like what was
Well,
your
mama, uh, my mother named Sheila, and everybody in my hood, they knew all of my mama churn as, oh, there goes Sheila boys. And
uh, are you from
I
New Orleans too?
I quintessential to my mother. So my mama, um, she always was, or is. She just, I remember being a kid and I used to be dressing my mama every time before she go to the club and helping her get ready. I would always put her in the same outfit, like this little silk fit. And she would be like, they gonna think I ain't got no clothes or something. Cause you put me in the same time. But she was, she's just has always been like a natural beauty. I never seen my mama really wear makeup too often. So she always kind of just been on top of her skin, teeth, the whole nine. And so I guess that was kind of my first introduction into beauty, just seeing my mother as a pinnacle of beauty. And she, you know, she would rarely wear makeup, so she would always kind of, try random different stuff on her face and stuff like that. So I guess that was kind of my intro, but for my own self personally, for a long time, I used to never use anything on my skin. And people would always ask, yo, what do you use on your skin?
Mm-hmm.
Be like, don't use anything. To be honest with you, I used to probably a bar of soap, and then I realized how badly my skin was suffering after after a while. But I guess what really kicked it off for me is later on in life. I think probably a couple years ago, as I started to get sick, um, my face just kind of got really swollen. Like it kind of looked like I had a stroke. To be honest with you, I couldn't figure out what was wrong, but it was like it ended up being basically so much my body being under so much stress and pressure. All of the
Yeah.
cortisol levels got so high that it started to make my whole body get inflamed.
Oh
So
wow.
over probably the course of probably like 2 weeks to a month, and this is around the time December, probably 2 years ago, maybe coming up on 3 now. My sister died on that Christmas. It
Mm.
triggered a real, I don't even want to call it a depression, like one huge what the fuck moment for me, because my sister, she was good, she was so healthy, and then
Uh-huh.
sudden she had ovarian cancer randomly before, and then she beat it, and then it
Mhm.
came back, and um, I was like spending all type of money to try to get her with different doctors and things like that, and so, but her the whole time she was making plans and adjustments for her life, asking like, yo, do you think I'd be wrong if I get cremated, or just all of that. And the whole time I was like, yeah, you gonna be okay. It was,
Right.
and then she actually just died, and swiftly died, and it just it threw me off guard, because it just put me in real reality of like, she was asking me if I would take custody of my nieces, and it
Uh-huh.
also sense to me either, because my brother got killed about 10, I think we're at about 10 years now, 10. And that was my sister is my brother's fiance. So I just was like, that type of stuff doesn't happen. It only happens in movies. And I also
right.
that because God knows that my nieces needs their mom here. And then God obviously knew something different than I did.
Right.
It just got so real for me, and I think it just wasn't enough like time for my body to really just process what was happening. So I kind of got so sick so quickly, and my body started to decline. I ended up paralyzed and had to go through physical therapy rehab for a long time. I mean, it pushed me into a real depression because I thought, well, I just didn't understand what my body was doing. So
right.
showed me that, you know, I thought it was mine, but it's a borrowed body, so you got to treat it well. And it just was an experience that changed me completely as a soul, a person. It's like, so everything I knew about myself before is like, it all got wiped clean for me to kind of have to start over, begin again. So and I guess while I was going through all of that, I still had, I had a failing body. And once I kind of got over that hump of depression about what was happening, my mind was, I had a happy and healthy mind though. So I just kind of went on my journey to start, like, as I'm doing physical therapy rehab. I was staying in the hospital for some of that time. Got out and moved to the other physical therapy rehab facility. And then sometime after that, I just, because of experiencing my illness and going through it, I guess kind of alone, because I was alone for most of that.
Right.
I had the thought to start Encina, to start this company for more reasons than one, to be honest.
So it was like, so you would say it was self-care on two type of levels, like mentally, and then also you were taking care of your body, and it helped you, like you starting this brand kind of helped you kind of get back focused on you as a whole.
And it's kind of really more spiritually is what led to start Encina. So after I had the idea in mind to start a skincare company for a while, it was just, I guess I had to experience what I experienced in order to catapult me into it.
Right.
Around the sick, I wasn't working as much. My body was failing, so I wasn't able to tour. I ended up being diagnosed with something called Guillain-Barré syndrome. I had never heard of it. It's a nerve condition. But basically, it was like all of the stress toxins in my body ended up eating the nerves in my legs.
Oh, wow.
For a long time, I had this like weird, like vibration kind of. I got a video of it too. It's crazy. Just this kind of vibration where it's like different shocks of electricity were just kind of firing off through my body. I had to relearn to walk, relearn to talk. I thought I had MS at first because of all of those symptoms.
Yeah.
It was paired to my livelihood, and I was like, oh, this is a part of my gift, how I make money, take care of my family. What is this? Where do I where do I go from here? And also experiencing a lot of trauma in this industry, going through public adversity, and realizing that people could easily pull the rug from up under you at any given point in time. So it taught me that to lay a better foundation, and one that's, I guess, a lot more deeply rooted. That's where kind of Encina came in the picture. I started to do research, doing all the time on myself, kind of ancestral background research, and I started to look up my last name. Don't have a lot of information about that. I didn't really know my father like that. My father died. His father died. Body, and I think everywhere but his hands or something like that. And I started to look up where Alsina came from, and it comes from the word Encina, which the Spanish word Encina. Encina in Spanish means a home oak tree. And do more research on that, I saw that the extract that you can get from a home oak tree deals with like certain skin problems like dermatitis, psoriasis, and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, this is God putting this together, because it wasn't
right.
thing that I had to force or myself to come across. It was no resistance to it at all. It just kind of put itself together. And after doing deeper research into that and just dealing with a home oak tree and looking into trees, period, I think Christina brought this to my attention, that the way you can tell how old a tree is and the history of a tree is through its tree rings. And that's kind of how we formed the logo for the brand. And it's just all been so beautiful because, there are a lot of stories about trees. And I think one particularly in Greek culture, there's people would go to sleep by this tree of life. Because a lot of the ancestors, I mean, at least legend has it that a lot of the ancestors were buried there, and their animals and dogs that they had. And so people will go and sleep there and kind of pick up a lot of ancient wisdom from these trees. And I'm saying that to say that, like, so much of our healing is here on the planet, on planet Earth. I mean, because the way my body started to fail on me, it kind of pushed me into all type of different medicines, psychedelics, whatever, just to find a closer connection to myself and remove like all the debris of trauma that I picked up along the way, and kind of give myself a start to start fresh. In doing that with the wisdom of our ancestors, it's been like, it's so dope. And so for me, wellness really, bruh, has become like an everyday, like, wake up, and that's kind of my main focus, whether if it's from chatter in my head, too much chatter in my head, or my body too tight, too tense. It's become like my main driving focus, because so much of my life has been geared toward trying to survive and stay alive. And it's now to the point that, that I'm surviving, that I'm actually having to figure out what the hell life looks like out of a space of like chronic tension, chronic fatigue, where I'm just always in it. And I know that you can understand this, just you being a Black man, that first of all, that's tough in this world. You always are in a space of trying to protect yourself and yourself from so much, where you kind of, I guess, the more you protect yourself, the other side of it is the more you can lose yourself inside of
Yeah.
thing. So it's just kind of, this whole journey with Encina has pushed me into being more disciplined with my healing, and not taking anything else for like an answer at all.
Question for like, for you to be a musician and now working on this aspect of it, and like you just shared your story, what was the most difficult part for you to transition into this market, something that's totally new, but you felt it spiritually because it made sense, like, right, all the dots are connecting and just hearing the story. But what has been like the difficult part for you to transition over, and how has the feedback been?
I mean, honestly, just learning, to be honest, because it's a new world, and so you basically are walking into a world where you know absolutely nothing about it, and you got to bump your head a few times, and you got to up and until you actually get it right. So it's almost like well, not almost, like it is, you know, taking yourself out of a certain mindset and just allowing yourself to become a student.
Right.
Especially because you know, you people can have so many fears that will discourage you before you can get started, especially if you starting to begin a journey that you it's just unknown.
Right, 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 right.
But the other side of that is like it's a dope adventure that opens up a whole new world to you, and that's what this has been, you know, doing to and for me. But this is deeper than myself. This is like God creating this, and I'm just co-creating this with God because this is something that beyond me. So it pushes me to kind of go beyond my fears, or and you know, bruh, it can be fears of anything, fears of rejection, fears of don't criticism, fear. It's just the idea of fear will keep you stuck and stagnant as you allow it to. So I guess that probably would have been the biggest hurdle is getting over the insecurities that my woundedness I picked up over the time, facing so much illness in my own body and never being able to figure out what was actually wrong. Because I used to go to the doctor and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. But I discovered that for me, most of my illness starts from a spiritual form and then it manifests into physical form.
Right.
And I mean that on a, you know, on a most basic level. Like I was diagnosed with an eye disease, and I had to get a bunch of surgeries on my eyes and stuff like that. And I am like recently with my vision starting to clear up. Now it is clearing up because I'm clearing up space inside of my spirit where I'm not carrying so much weight in trauma or like in my body and over myself. So it was almost as if like my experiences, I kind of allowed them to attach to me and I started to identify with it. And through like identifying with those experiences, it kind of put like a veil over my eyes. So I wasn't even able to see myself clearly. Because you dealing with not being able to see yourself clearly from my internal space and like what I think of myself over time from a lack of self-worth through all of my life's experiences, and also dealing with outside noise too, because you know we in this Instagram social media era and everything is like just about information and it's constant information, but it's also an overload of information. We were not made to be bombarded with so much constant information all the time. And, you know, so that even that alone can cause you fear because especially in the Black community, bro, it's not a lot of healthy support that is out here that we getting from one another. And especially when it's like cool to and trendy as an artist for people to start a hate train and send hate towards you online. All things can distract you from, you know, completing your mission and like actually walking into your purpose. So like oddly enough, all of my trauma is in having the courage and strength and endurance and resilience to face my trauma is what led me here was wanting to build Encina and never, like I said, create a platform that's more deeply rooted in a foundation rooted, where it doesn't allow people to pull the rug from up under you at any given moment that you know they decide. And you know, as we it could be hard to go into other industries, but you know that's just the process of life. We continue to evolve. And so all of my pain has pushed me more into my purpose to even be able light to this job.
Yeah, that makes sense. What is your favorite product from the line? What do you use? What do you use most?
All of them. I
All
actually
of it.
I got a personal relationship with each one of these products. You know, as I was talking about earlier, that starting this journey was my opportunity to begin again, and that cleanser is called. That's the first step process. I actually really want you. I can't wait for you to be able to try it. But the begin again cleanser is one of my favorites just because it's what I do to kick off my day every morning and also how I close my night. So it's become like a real healing ritual to me and for me, because you know sometimes in the bathroom after you work all day, that's kind of the only time, especially if you got kids and shit running around, you that's the only time that you kind of get to just be to yourself. You'll be like, Uncle, why you be running in the bathroom for an hour? That's the time that you kind of get a break from you. Yeah.
Right. Close the door, lock it, have a moment. No, understood.
The Begin Again cleanser is a favorite of mine, but also the exfoliator paired with the Begin Again cleanser is my favorite too, because these like kind of rice enzymes, they are like granulated and they kind of it's like a real firm kind of scratch, but also gentle at the same time. So it's kind of giving you, it's peeling back layers of skin and dead. It's just in the same way in relation to what I was talking about, spiritually removing old trauma and like just shit that feels dead, stagnant out of your body. That kind of does the same thing for me, like every day when I'm like in the process of
right. Understood.
yeah.
Understood.
Probably my top two for sure.
Nice. I guess 2 more questions and we good because you gave me a great interview. I already see where I want to go with it. So as far as like on the website, you guys mentioned that it was created for more of a melanin dark, like for Black folks,
Hell
Black and
yeah.
brown people. So why were you intentional for that? Anybody can use it, of course, but why were you that intentional for that?
Because why not be intentional about it? Because white people have, I mean, they got the shit sold up in the stores. When I go in the store, it's like it's every product that's either jumping out to an audience that is not an audience that I come from. Now, with that said, I mean, as we are all one, we are melanin in our skin. We as Black people, we just have more. So it was important to create a brand that resonates with me, for one, that I can authentically talk about, and also share, and also create a community among other people where they can feel like they themselves inside of the brand. You know, because the skin is the body's largest organ, that's really the first step to healing yourself. I mean, as simple as going to the gym. You go to the gym, you on the treadmill, and you sweat. These toxins are coming out through your skin, sweat or whatever. So it, for me, was really about allowing other people to see themselves in the brand and feel that they are also one part of the company, but it was well a lot more beyond just starting a business, because so many people do that, right? I mean, if anybody come into a little cash, whether it's a FEMA check or a fucking, a disaster check, you can flip it into whatever you want to flip it into. So it's way deeper than starting a company, or just in a very vain way starting a skincare company. This is, for me, really about healing from the inside out. And while I'm on a very tough journey to doing that, allowing other people to kind of come with me along, like on this journey, and be able to share other tools and properties that I come across that actually are beneficial to me in regards to healing myself. Because God has, throughout trauma, pain, whatever the fuck we experience in this life, I'm grateful for it all, because God has still allowed me to be exposed to so much good and bad. And while being exposed to so much, being able to keep my spirit intact along the way. And with exposure, it changes perspective. I've been able to see so much and experience so many different kinds of people, and they're in cultures, and visit other people in different cultures, and go to the Amazon and see in Peru where there are people doing ayahuasca ceremonies, and just all these different medicines and tools of medicines, and or a combo cleanse. Have you heard of that before?
I'm listening though. I'm listening.
So a combo cleanse is basically a medicine that they use. It's natural, comes from a frog, actually. And the story is that there was this shaman who his whole village was sick, and usually he was able to help heal them through ceremony of sitting in ayahuasca ceremonies. And they talk about how ayahuasca is the mother, is made with the mother herb, which also comes from a tree, and kind of connects you with like your divine consciousness. And so a lot of people in his village were still dying. He said that through an ayahuasca ceremony, God led him to this frog that was in the forest. Now, this frog secretes like some type of something out of its glands.
Yeah.
And then so they take it off the frog, and they put little burn holes on your body. I have them here, but my sweater is on. So they put little match and put these little dots on you, and they scrape the medicine and put it on you, and you purge. Your face kind of blows up like a frog, and you probably honestly go up about 15, 20, 25 minutes. But you come up out of it, targets different areas in your body, your lymphatic system, or tension inside of here, or sinus. So it is wherever the medicine decides to go for you in particular, is helping you get out an energetic clean as well. So me to go and experience all of these kinds of things, because I believe that healing is not just about one person. It's like each one reach one, teach one. So every experience that I get is kind of bottled up inside of this brand and inside of this company. And even more so on a deeper level is like even going to the manufacturer and going through the whole process of ingredients and coming up with the formula and seeing what does work and what doesn't work. And then once it is done, and going to the manufacturer and meeting the people that are bottling this stuff up and handling the packaging. Everybody, man, was or they are so loving that it really inspired me to continue on to my journey, because all of this has been made from a place of like true passion. And also, that's another thing. And I think Greek culture. The word passion in Greek, I think, is pate, which means suffering. So for me, it was formed through a lot of my suffering, but we actually, you can't know like true joy, true healing, and true wellness without the other side, without the shadow side of suffering and sorrow. So all of the love and happiness that has been poured into this is just an extra extract aside from the actual ingredients that's inside of this, inside of the product. And I genuinely believe that matters too. So it was really about kind of creating something for my culture and where I come from, also allowing it to be a universal thing at the same time, because it's also a brand that everybody can use it. And it's a colorless brand. And it's, as I said, we all have melanin, but it's a colorless brand because I'm realizing the more and more that I live, that we genuinely are just one energetic frequency that shows up in many different forms. So it's been that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. One last question. I guess, what do you hope for the Encina, for the brand, for the future of the brand? Like, you want the people to experience? I mean, I know what I can take from it, just from the conversation and the passion that you have about it. But like, what do you want people to like?
I would love to hear your perspective. What do you?
You gonna see it. You gonna see it when you get the interview.
All right. Well, man, like I said, bro, I have suffered. I really, like, I'm so grateful to God to even be able to have this exchange with you. And it's been so dope too, because the people that I've been kind of interacting with at these different companies, and what was it that we did? Women's Wear Daily. Recently, I've been black guys that I've been talking to, and it's always so fucking refreshing to see black, like, really doing something that's geared towards promotion and positivity of our culture, because we are so bombarded with bullshit about black people all day, whether it's your fucking sexuality, whether it's who you dating, whether it how much money you got, whether it's what car you drive. It's all low-level fruit that don't really, in the end, it means nothing at all. So this is really me creating something that I'm fully behind. I mean, I went through like a really rough season of real public adversity, where a lot of people turned their backs on me. A lot of people did. And I felt that, and, lived with it for a while. And then it was like, all right, you can only live inside of that for so long until you choose to create more life for yourself and get up out of stagnant energy. But it has been the best thing for me, for my body to be broken down, and because I lost myself in the process. And then it was like, well, damn, if I could so easily lose August, who the fuck was he anyway? That I should go and figure out more of him. It's like time to put that person to rest and like move on, the change of direction. So this is about like inspiration for one, being able to, I guess, be a voice for people that feel voiceless, because people have silenced me, and they still do. They still do to a degree. If anything, it would be about being an example of resilience, and turning this company into something that goes far beyond me generationally. And it would be a show and reflection of endurance, and really just, a journey to not even chasing wellness, but just, I guess, flipping that in to flow to you and through you, and just being able to get in the state of least resistance possible, and just kind of open your arms to the universe and allow whatever comes to you to come to you, and know that whatever it is that's supposed to be for you is going to be for you, no matter who against you, what person say this about you, no matter what criticism you even have about yourself. It's like I said, just starting that healing journey from the inside out. So really, it's a brand of togetherness. And also, I saw that you asked earlier about coming into an industry that is woman dominated, right?
Right.
Uh, I think that my goal would be, because, as I said, we are the divine masculine, divine feminine, is to kind of unify those two, where we can become like one big blended family, and there is no separation. Now, of course, there's going to be some separation because women scientifically, their body
Right.
from a man's, but I feel like through togetherness, there's so much that we offer to the world through just the unification of man and woman, and bringing like those two things together inside of this field. I think it's so much, dope shit that can come from it.
Nice. Well, thank you for your time, sir. Like, this was dope. This was great. I'm excited to try the products. I'm waiting for them to come. I know they're on their way. So
I really do want you to try it and experience that. I believe wholeheartedly that after the first step, in the second step, the exfoliator, you'll be sold.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a message. You're gonna see a comment.
I want your honest review, and it's like whatever your honest review is, your honest review is. But I trust that I trust in this so much just because of what it does for my own skin. And as I said too, it also is a ritual every day of life that becomes a part of your routine that you look forward to, because it's the smell of it. I look forward to smelling it. I look forward to feeling it on my skin. It just kind of gives me a real chance to renew myself and begin again on my journey every single day. So I'm excited for you to try it out. And thank you for having me. Now, I appreciate you as another Black man who see another Black man out here. You know what, motherfucker, and you reach out and say, I got some for you. Come fuck. I really genuinely appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your time, for real.
Nope.